Hello, everyone. It looks like we are live. Welcome to another Master Spotlight. I'm joined right now by Renaud HENRION. He is the head of admissions for EMLyon. I'll let him pronounce that because I know I butchered it, but he's going to run us through a presentation going about the program, and then we will come back, or I will come back right at the end, and we'll run through some. So please, if you have any questions as you're watching this, post them in the chat, and then I will do my best to get them answered when I come back. But without further ado, I'll go ahead and hand you the mic.
Thank you very much, Ronan. Okay, so nice to be connected in this conference. My name is Renaud HENRION, and I'm head of admissions at EMLyon Business School. During this presentation, I'm going to introduce our master's programs. We have about 18 master's programs, so I'm going to talk about EMLyon first, and then going to details on those master's programs. At the end of the presentation, I will also talk about the admission process. So if you have any question about that, you will have the answers at the end of the presentation. And please feel free to ask your question at the end of the presentation. I'm here to answer to all the questions you may have, and it's quite normal to have a lot of questions about the programs and about the admission process. So, EMLyon, as you may know, is all around the world now. We have several campuses. We have alumni as well all around the world, and companies, partners companies all around the world. Our campuses are based in Asia, in Shanghai, in Africa as well, in Casablanca, and in Bhubaneswar in India, and in France with 3 campuses, one in Paris, one in Lyon, in Écully, a little town just close in 10-minute drives to Lyon, and on Saint-Étienne. So you can meet alumni all around the world, and you can stay in our campuses if you travel during your internship, for example, or during your job. You can say hi and visit us in our campuses. And during our master's program, during the experience of those master's programs, you may go in our campuses, maybe in Africa, in Casablanca, or maybe in Shanghai, especially. The mission of our master's programs, I think you have already guessed, but it's employability. If you do a master's program at EMLyon, a Master of Science, for example, it's to learn professional skills in order to optimize your employability after the program. It's the main thing to know about the master's programs. About the rankings, you may know the Times Higher Education. We are the 2nd business school in France, and we are known all around the world. We have students and alumni, as I said before, and even students in several cohorts of the Master of Science, international ones. We have more than half of the cohort of each master's programs full of international students who come from all around the world for our Master of Science especially. So a global player, you know that we have this triple crown with some accreditation. You may know that already: ASCSB, EQUIS, IMBA. Sometimes students don't know what's happened behind those accreditations. Just keep in mind that those accreditation is really important to justify to our students and to our company or our partners that we provide excellence in terms of pedagogy, in terms of experience in each programs at EMLyon. It's really important. The campuses, I already told you that we are in Écully, just close to Lyon, a 10-minute drive to Lyon. We're beginning to build a new campuses. I think it's going to start in few days now, and it's going to be end in 2024. A new campus in the city center of Lyon. You can see some pictures here. It's going to be a huge campus, a connected one with international students from all over the world, as I said before. Just close to the train station of Lyon, close to the airport as well, close to Paris, just 2 hours by train from Paris. And it's going to be a brand new campuses to welcome you in France and in Lyon. The Paris one, it just close from the train station, the main train station of Paris, just in the city center of Paris. And in Saint-Étienne, it's another town close to Lyon, 1 hour drive to Lyon, where there is our students from the global BBA. Casablanca campus is our African campus at EMLyon. and the one in Shanghai for the whole Asia. Now we're going to focus on our master's programs, especially Master of Science. You have two kinds of programs at EMLyon, of master's programs. You have the Master Spécialisé, they are mostly taught in French, and you have the Masters of Science, fully taught in English, and I think you're going to be mostly interested by this kind of programs. It's the range of programs in yellow, in this PowerPoint slide. You can apply to these programs once you are graduated from a 3-year bachelor at least. 3-year bachelor at least. If you have a 4-year bachelor or master's degree already, you can of course apply without any problem for this kind of Master of Science. And if you are interested in specialized masters, we never know, taught in French, you have to validate a 4-year degree at least before applying to the program. We'll talk about that later on. So the Conférence des Grandes Écoles, it's a French accreditation. It's a 4th accreditation. You have SESB, EQUIS, ASSBA, and then you have ACSB, sorry, and then you have the Conférence des Grandes Écoles 1. It's also a label to optimize the excellence of our programs, the excellence of what the teacher teach to our students, the quality of the partnership we have in another campuses, in the company was going to hire you in internship first and then in your first job. So it's really important to have the 13th accreditation as well. We're going to focus on the Masters of Science. You know that it's an experience which will last 16 to 18 months, including 4 to 6 months of internship. You will have some international experience in each single Masters of Science, a learning trip during 10 days. I'm going to explain that afterward, and an experience in Shanghai for most of our Master of Science. So it's taught in English, as I said, and the eligibility is a 3-year bachelor and a 4-year bachelor, 3-year bachelor at least. The Master of Science. So I won't be able to give you a lot of details for each Master of Science because I have only 30 to 40 minutes to explain all the admission process and the Masters of Science programs. You can find some more information, of course, in our website for every single program. You will have the contents, the elective, and everything you will find on each Master of Science. So you have the first one, MSc in Global Innovation and Entrepreneurship. It's quite our DNA at EMLyon, the entrepreneurship and even the sustainable entrepreneurship. That's what you're going to learn in this first Master of Science. Master of Science in Finance, you will have to choose in this kind of Master of Science between two specializations, corporate finance and quantitative finance. It will depend on your professional projects and what you want to do afterwards. MSc in Digital Marketing and Data Science, MSc in Supply Chain and Purchasing Management, Strategy and Consulting. So you have several Master of Science focused in one field, in one industry. It will depend on what you are targeting for your professional life. It can be a whole industry, or it can be a job or a position in a company. So you will try to find the right Master of Science will fit the most to your professional programs, thinking about what you want to do afterwards. And you have at EMLyon, of course, in my team, some student advisor who are here to talk with you, to try to find your professional project and to define your professional project, to find the right Master of Science. The sectors one, the Master of Science in Cybersecurity and Defense Management, it's a brand new Master of Science with the new challenges the companies are facing at the moment with the digital tools, the new digital tools, and the digital environment we are facing and we are living in now. It's a new era where we live, and we need some cybersecurity skills and defense skills to work in a company now, and every company all around the world needs these skills from our students. That's why we have created this kind of Master of Science. MSc in Luxury Management and Marketing. It's a sector one, the luxury, not only fashion, but it can also for a brand of car, a brand of watch as well, not only the fashion sector, but the luxury sector, the huge one. Quite the same with the MSc in high-end brand management. The only difference between luxury, one of the difference between luxury management marketing and high-end management is that luxury management and marketing starts the first months in Paris, and MSc in high-end brand management starts in Shanghai. MSc in sport industry management as well. So for this program, you don't need to be a high athlete in any kind of sport. You just need to have the ambition to focus in this industry at the end of the program. So in the program and at the end of the program, it can be in a marketing position, in a sales position, in a finance position, but focused on the sport industry. It can be events position as well. MSc in International Hospitality Management in partnership with an hospitality school, a really famous one, known in France and all around the world, the Institut Paul Bocuse. You will have some experiences in Paris, in Écully at EMLyon, but also in the Institut Paul Bocuse Castle, just close from the EMLyon campus in Lyon. And you will travel to Paris and to Shanghai as well before doing your internship. MSc in Health Management and Data Intelligence in partnership with an engineer school, a French one, MiM de Saint-Étienne. You will learn management and soft skills, especially at EMLyon, and technical things in MiM de Saint-Étienne. So just to describe you quickly the content of the Master of Science programs, is that as you will all have a 3-year bachelor at least, it can be in any field, in any kind of school, in any kind of university, you have the fundamental common courses at the beginning of the program, just for you to have the same level with the other members of the cohorts. It can be whether in Paris or Écully, it will depend on the program you are going to choose. And then beginning of January, you will have the specializations. It will depend on the program. We have some specialization in Paris, in Écully, but also in a partner school. It can be, for example, it can be in New York, in London, or in Rome, if you choose luxury management and marketing. Of course, it depends on the sanitary crisis. This year, we had to suggest to our students to do online courses. But we do hope, and we really hope that next year from September 2021, you will be able to travel again. If it's not the case, we never know. As we have done this year, you will have online courses. Maybe it's going to be some question at the end of the presentation. And then you will have to do an internship, 4 to 6 months of internship in a company anywhere in the world. The main thing is that it has to be, the content of your internship has to be in line with the Masters of Science you have followed before. It's going to be validated by EMLyon and validated by a manager in the company who is going to host you during your internship. And then you will have to do a professional dissertation to be graduated from the Master of Science you are going to choose. I won't talk that much about the specialized masters. I did 13 French, but as you can see, we have 6 masters spécialisés. Master spécialisé entrepreneuriat et management de l'innovation. Master spécialisé transformation digitale, marketing et stratégie. Master spécialisé juriste manager international for EMLyon programs. And we also have some programs, as we have for the Masters of Science, we have some specialized masters in partnership with another school. You do half of the experience of 6 months, 3 months at EMLyon and 3 months for Master spécialisé management des entreprises du vivant et de l'agroalimentaire in Supagro Montpellier. For the Master spécialisé stratégie et développement d'affaires internationales, you're going to do 3 months at EMLyon and 3 months in Centrale Supélec in Paris. It's an engineer school. It's one of the most famous engineer schools in France. And the last one is the Master spécialisé management de la transition énergétique in partnership with ECAM Lyon, another engineer school. And you are going to do half of the program at EMLyon and the other half at ECAM before doing your internship. some international experience. It's part of all master's programs at EMLyon. Of course, you will have international experience. You will have learning trips included in the program. It's about 10 days with all your cohort. You're going to travel in a specific country. It will depend on the program you're going to choose. And then you can go to our Shanghai campus for about 3 months at the end of the academic program before starting your internship. Then you go in internship for 4 to 6 months, and then you do your professional thesis and you're graduated. It's quite the same for the master spécialisé. And now let's talk about, I'm sure you have a lot of questions about the application process, the admission process for those Masters of Science. It's the same for all our Masters of Science and a Master Spécialisé. The admission process is the same. First, you need to create an account on our website, of course. Go to your website, choose the program you are interested in, and then create an account. Once you have created this account, you will have access to the application platform. You will have to answer to a few questions about you, about where you come from, about why you want to apply to this program, and you're going to add some documents online. You are going to upload some documents, your identity card, of course, the diploma you may have graduated before. If it's not the case, it doesn't matter. But if you have been graduated from another school, or if you have already a diploma, before applying to this Master of Science, please put it and upload it on your admission platform. You will need to provide us a proof of enrollment in your current program as well, just to check if you have the right diploma to be able to apply to the program. A minimum a 3-year bachelor or a 4-year bachelor or even more. Then in optional, you will have to provide us an English test score like the TOEFL, IELTS, or TOEIC, for example. A management test score, a GMAT, a TAJMAJ for the French students maybe, or a GRE, and a recommendation letter. It's optional because we also are going to evaluate some skills, especially English skills and management skills, throughout our digital tests. We have built our own digital test for the master's programs, and you will have access to this kind of test just after having validated your application form. And once the application form is considered as fully completed by my admission teams, you will have access within 5 open days to the digital test. Okay, so 3 to 5 days after validating your application form, then you will receive an email asking you to upload the digital test on your computer. The digital test lasts about 1 hour, 1 hour and a quarter. It's in English for the Masters of Science, even in French for the Specialized Masters. You will have to do that in front of your computer with a microphone, a camera, well-dressed, professionally dressed, and alone. It's really important to do that alone, because you have some in the platform, you have some tests of the fact to check if you are alone or not. If you are not, you will be disqualified to the application process. So it's really, really important to do it on your own with a great internet connections, internet signal, and on your computer. Okay, once you're ready, you will have access to 3 kind of exercises. So the 3 kind of exercises last a little bit more than 1 hour. The first kind of exercise is going to be a provisional immersion. You will have like a chat on your computer. You will be part of a company, and you are going to talk with the exchange with the head of the finance, the head of the marketing, the CEO of the company as well. And then the chat is going to stop, and you will have to choose between 5 answers. The main answer, the answer which you think is the best thing to answer in the conversation, you will put it in the conversation, and the worst answer, you will put it in the trash. You will see on your screen you have a trash. So you will have to choose 2 answers: the best for you, and you put it in the conversation, and the worst for you, and you put it in the trash. And it's going to last about 30 minutes, and it's going to be repeated in 20 times, about 20 times. Okay, the conversation is going to stop, and then you choose the answer. Then the chat is going to be to keep on going. Then it stops, and you choose the right answer and the wrong one for you, for your own. There's no right or bad answer. It's a right answer for you and a bad answer for you. Okay, it's really personal. Then you will have access to the cognitive tests. It's quite common tests. You have some kind of dominoes. You have a few seconds to answer, and you have you have about 5 dominoes, and you have to find the 6th one. Okay. You have some kind of exercises like this. I won't tell you a lot about that because it's made for that. You don't have to be really prepared to do those exercises. It's cognitive test, and it's gonna be the quickness of your answers is gonna be evaluated as well. The last kind of exercise you will have during those digital tests is motivation questions. You can have some questions on video or some written questions. Okay, so once you will have the question, you will see the questions. You have about 30 seconds to provide the answer in English, of course, and it's the same with the written questions. If you see that you have some characters to answer, you need to answer in English to these kind of questions. It's not that hard. It's just motivation questions. So maybe you can have some question about the content of the program, about your professional projects, about why you apply to this program, why EMLyon maybe, and what do you want to do afterwards, and every kind of question like this. Like regular question you can be asked during a regular interview when you face some teachers or the head of the school. I think it's okay for the digital test. Once you have validated these digital tests, then we are going to organize an admission board. Then we will see your application file with all your description and all the documents you have provided us in the application form, and the result of your digital tests. So the head of the master's programs and some teachers is going to tell you if you are admitted or not to these programs. There's no live interviews, or there's no interviews in the campus or even in our international campus. It's every decision are based on the application form and the digital test. Okay, and then you will be admitted or non-admitted. If you are admitted, you will have to confirm and to enroll yourself in the program as soon as possible. And in September, you will do your first day of school in the master's program at EMLyon. Okay, the first day of those master's programs are going to be middle of September. We still wait for the sanitary context, if we can open the campus or not. I'm quite positive-minded, so I'm sure it's going to be possible. And if it's not, we will help you, and we will help you to come to have the visa, maybe, for example, if you have any issue. And we will do online courses until you will be able to come to the campus. Okay. I think that's all about the admission process. Now we're going to talk about the financial aid. You may need to finance your studies, to finance your life in Paris or in Lyon if you come on our master's programs. So you can ask for individual scholarship. Just when you upload all the documents on the application form, you will see an individual scholarship request form. Then you upload it and you fill the individual scholarship request. And we will see this request at the same time we are going to tell you if you are admitted or not. If you are admitted, we will tell you how many scholarship and the amount of scholarship we are going to grant you. It's the admission board who grant you the scholarship. And the decision is based on your needs, of course, on the diversity of the cohort as well, and your academic excellence. That's why you put your transcript. It's really important as well. I haven't told you that when I told you the documents you need to upload. You need to upload your transcript. Of course, you need to upload your transcript in the application form. And according to your professional experiences, academic experiences, your resume as well, we will grant you some scholarship. It's going to be from 0 to 40% of the tuition fees of the program. And you can add to this individual scholarship excellence scholarship. This specific excellence scholarship is up to your management test. So please provide us a good GMAT score, and then you will be granted a specific excellence scholarship. It can go individual scholarship plus excellence scholarships can go to 40 to 50% of the application fee. Okay, but it will depend on the first one will depend on the decision of the admission board, and the second one, the excellence scholarship, is automatic. So you just need to provide us a good GMAT score, and then you will have 10 to 15% of scholarship. Okay, again, it's additional. You can have individual scholarship and excellence scholarship. We also have some bank partners in Lyon and in Paris. They can give you a loan, and then you can reimburse this loan once you will be graduated to the MS Master of Science. So it's quite interesting for you as well, for the French students, but also for international students we have a specific dispositive for our international students who come to our master's programs with the bank partners, but also with Prodigy Finance. You will find all the details in our website. You have some application fees as well. If you have a high sport athlete, you are free from paying the application form, just for you to know. But the application fees, sorry, is 120 euro for each program, and you can apply to several programs if you want to. The third session is going to close on the 22nd in February. So if you are ready, if your professional project is strong enough to apply to the Master of Science you want, don't wait, don't hesitate to apply as soon as possible, because we had some programs last year who have closed before August. All the programs and all the sessions, we have about 7 sessions all along the year until August. But if a program is full, we can stop the admission process. Okay, so you still have a little bit of time, but in April and May, some program can be closed because we have enough students in the cohort to provide you an excellent experience. Okay, we don't want to have too many students in the cohort, just to have to teach you and to share with you the best experience we can provide you. If you have any questions, you will find the name of your student advisor, because it depends on the programs you want to apply to. You have one program advisor for each master's program, so feel free to find their name on the website. If you haven't chosen any master's programs for the moment, please write to my colleague Charlotte Guirao-Cassin. You have her email address just here. And she will answer to, or just send your email to the right student advisor if you have some specific questions about a specific program. Okay, it has lasted about half of an hour. I'm here now to answer to any question you may have.
Great, thank you so much. That was actually, yeah, perfect, almost right on the dot, 12:30, great timing. But great, thank you for the presentation. I think you answered some questions during that. I hope anybody that's here will go back and rewatch it, as well as if you are rewatching this and decided to skip ahead to the Q&A, definitely go back. There's a ton of information there, but hopefully we can answer some additional questions and maybe dive a little deeper into certain topics. I think one of the questions I see a lot in business schools, just in general, when trying to go for their degrees, is how much the native language is important, both to the degree program, but then also the job market and looking for internships or jobs in the future. So can you kind of go a little deeper into not being proficient in French and what that does to their opportunities in the job market? And then is there a way to learn maybe French when you're there and kind of improve your skills?
So yes, you can learn French when you are in Paris or in Lyon. Of course, you can learn French. You will also have be in touch with other students of the school and other teacher, and you can experience the French language in the courses and in the school in general. The impact of your employability after that, I think the main thing is to speak English first of all. And if you speak French, it depends on where you want to work. Of course, if you want to work in France, of course, it's better to speak French, but it's not mandatory, especially for our Masters of Science programs. We receive, and we have in the cohorts, lots of students who don't speak French at all, and it doesn't matter because the main language in this kind of programs is English, so it doesn't matter.
Well, perfect. Thank you so much for that. And I saw a question here, and I'm trying to find it back again. Oh, yes, here. Nishant, I said that they've been selected for the Master in Finance in 2021. How many years of stay back? I'm assuming you stay after the program in France, I think is the question. And then what is the work permit scenario in France? So can you specify any of that information?
What do you mean about how many years of stay back you get after the program?
I think what they're referring to is after completion, how many years can you work in France under the visa you may get when you come to the country before you either have to reapply or something else. And forgive me, I'm not familiar with the laws in France. So,
to be honest, I'm not an expert about the visa and this kind of thing, but it depends on the contract you are going to sign with the company who is going to hire you in an internship or after the internship. It depends, but we have an international office students who help the students to have a visa, first of all, to come to France to study at the MSc in Finance, and then they follow them and help them to find the right visa to stay during the internship and maybe stay after the internship once they are graduated. So it depends on where you want to work as well, and where you're from, of course. But we have an international office who are going to help you in this kind of thing.
Fantastic. Okay, great. And then I see another question here from Arnaud, and he was saying right there, he would like to apply for his Master's in Finance and wondering what a competitive GMAT score is. I know you went to this a little bit in your presentation, especially even what GMAT scores would be good for scholarships. So maybe just a quick touch on that. But then he's also wondering, can the English TOEFL test be replaced by proof of living and working in an English country?
Okay, so just those two things, the management test and the English test are not mandatory. Now you can apply without those kind of tests, and we are going to see the whole application form and especially the digital tests. And it won't replace a GMAT score, of course. If you have a great GMAT score, feel free to put it on your application form. It's going to be better than if you don't have. But if you don't have, it won't be an issue. For the English test, it's the same. You know, we have this digital test in English, and we're going to evaluate your English level through this 1 hour and 15 minutes of English digital test. So if you don't speak English, most of the students won't be able to complete those digital tests. So we're going to evaluate your skill through those different tests, so don't worry. And if you want to provide us a TOEIC, a TOEFL, or an IELTS, it's the same with the GMAT. You can provide it and upload it on your application form. But we will see on your application form if you have an English native student, and you don't have to provide any justification.
Oh, well, fantastic. That was a great answer. And in the light of keeping with the current chat questions, I see Sony, I believe, asked another question. How much pre-knowledge do we need to do? I guess prospective students need to have about the international financial markets in order to get admitted to the finance course. Are there prerequisites that they should be taking, or that they should look at taking before applying, or even maybe after they're accepted that they should take before finally taking classes? What are your thoughts?
Of course, when we are going to see your application form for the MSc in Finance, we are going to check if you already have some academic experiences in this field, in quantitative finance or in corporate finance, for example. It can be professional experiences as well. So if you already have an internship in this kind of field, feel free to express that in your application form. and you will have to express that in the motivation questions of the digital test. It's really important, and you need to be prepared because it's motivation questions, and you need to prepare that as the same way you will prepare a regular interview. You will think on your mind that, okay, why do I apply to the MSc in finance? What can be the best reason why I apply to this program? Is the academic experience I already have, is the professional one? And if it's the professional one, for example, feel free to tell us what you have done in quantitative finance, for example, already, and have the clearest view, sorry, of the professional projects you have. Okay, when you apply to MSc in finance, you need to know the missions you can apply to once you will be graduated. You need to have a clear vision of the company you can work in. It's really, really important because specifically, sorry, in this program we have lots and lots of candidates, and if you need to find a special idea of you to justify the reason why you apply to the MSc in finance.
And that was a great answer, and I actually want to use your last point to kind of bridge to another question we had on the forums. And the question was, what does EMLyon look for in a candidate? But I want to make this a bigger question because your presentation went over very well what you look for in a candidate. But what would you say are the characteristics of a very successful candidate that has already enrolled and is very successful in the program? What traits do you generally see in that person?
So it depends on the Master of Science you are going to apply to, but of course we want some students already experienced academically or professionally in the field you are going to choose, in the industry or in the mission you want to have after the Master of Science. But we want also some, like, I don't know if I can say that in English, but some atypic mind, some specific mind. We don't want people who think the same way, all of them. We want some originality, some specific aspect of your personality you're going to express during the digital test, and once you will be enrolled and admitted to the program. We want some free-minded students, not all the same mind, but be original, be specific, and for sure I hope you are going to be admitted.
Great, thank you for that. And then also going on to some more forum questions as well. Can you describe some of the student events and then also maybe how those have changed given the certain circumstances that we're dealing with this past year now?
So some kind of events at EMLyon. We have some. We just handed the career events when the company. It was online. It was online some days ago. But you have some future company and partners of EMLyon who have some stand like in some kind of fair, and the students have some appointment with the companies, and they go in touch with the heads of the marketing for famous companies as well, head of finance for the MSc in finance, and they have the opportunity to exchange with the professionals. Some professionals are part of the programs as well. They can teach in the program. And it's a really interesting event in terms of employability, because you have some companies from all over the world, from any fields, any industry, and then you will, before the event, you will choose the company you want to be in touch with, and then you will have the opportunity to exchange with important personalities of any kind of company and international ones. So it's a nice first step to have the internship you will have to do at the end of the master's programs. And we organize loads of other events at EMLyon, specific students events organized by the students by themselves, and some events with the alumni, for example, the alumni for all around the world, from the careers team, or the Makers Lab as well. You will be able to create, if you are interested by creating and creativity, you will be able to print in a 3D printer, for example, and you will organize some events to teach you how to use some 3D printers. It's just one example of some events we organize at EMLyon.
That's fantastic. No, great feedback on that. And then I do also have a question. As students are going through this application process, self-reflecting is a very large part to understand where they've been, where they want to be, and how do we get there. As candidates are doing this, and they sometimes struggle to find those distinguishing characteristics, as you put it, what are some ways that they can look at their extracurriculars or at their past experiences and show the uniqueness there? Do you have any advice for people who are trying to show that they are unique but are maybe struggling?
So it's important for us to be involved, for example, in an association, for example, to have some international experiences as well. It can be a good point for your application process. If you have some extra academic experiences, not especially professional experiences, but association to travel around the world, not with your parents. We don't want a description of the holidays with the parents, but any interesting international experience, for example. And we like students who think outside the box and have some specific and not weird, but some experience that not other students may have. Okay.
Yeah, no, great, fantastic. And I just see we have about 4 minutes left, so I do want to also give you the opportunity to last minute pointers, last minute advice, or just kind of a last statement. I want to throw up your contact page again, just so people can see this again. But do you have any maybe just last minute advice as people who are really trying to decide whether or not to put in that application or how they're going to structure that? Do you kind of have a last statement for them?
Just it's normal to have a lot of questions and to maybe you don't know what is your professional project now, but that's why it's important to talk with an admission advisor, for example, or student advisor in the team before applying. So feel free to contact them and to contact us to talk about your project, to talk about the program, to talk about what you are going to live in few months. If you are admitted to the program, it's normal. So we are going to help you define your professional project maybe before you apply to the program, and to follow you throughout the application process, and even after, just until you will come in the campus in September. So feel free to ask your question. It's really normal to have some question or to hesitate between one program and another as well. So just come and be in touch with us, and we are going to follow you through this application process.
Yeah, no, that was a great point. And for anyone listening now or rewatching the video, I know sometimes it is scary to reach out to those student ambassadors or even to the faculty themselves. But as Renaud was saying, and I think you'll see, is that they're very willing to answer your questions, and you do yourself a disservice by not asking those questions, because they have a wealth of information and can really help you on that journey. But I do want to thank you, Renaud, that the presentation was amazing. I know people are going to have the opportunity to go and rewatch this, and I definitely suggest that for those who are working on their applications or want to in the future. But we're going to go ahead and sign off. So once again, thank you, Renaud. Thank you for the audience on all of your questions, and look forward to seeing you again sometime.
Thank you very much. See you soon.